Hello and welcome
Okay.
to Reclaim Your Life with Irina. Today we have a special guest joining us from Tallinn, Estonia, Silja Paulus. She's a double certified Mindvalley coach, Holobody and 10X with a passion for transforming lives through fitness and mindset. She's a former long distance runner and current bikini fitness competitor. She understands the power of an athletic mindset in achieving extraordinary results. Welcome, Silja. It is a pleasure to have you.
Hey, Irina. It's so big pleasure for me to also be here. Whenever I get the chance to share my life, I'm like, yes, because it's like, I think some ideas are worth spreading. And I also want to spread my energy because it's a little bit maybe selfish as well, because whenever I talk and spread my energy, I also feel better myself. And this also means that I can serve other people better, my clients, my friends, my family, whoever I come in contact with. Also, like, for example, my Instagram followers or or people who are listening to my own podcast, for example. It's like if I'm in a good place, if I'm in a good energy, this will, it will have like very big ripple effect in the world. And that's why I'm always so happy to talk to people,
Yeah,
especially about the things that I love the most. I'm like, yes. So thank
awesome.
you for having me.
Yeah. So please share with us who is Celia in your own words.
Usually, I tell people that my main identity is being an athlete, and I think that's still true because I used to be marathon runner. I used to train for long distances like marathons, half marathons, 10K, maybe also some 5K races. Then I switched to bikini fitness and bodybuilding. So I've always been into sports. No, I mean, by always, I mean like for the last 10 years and a little bit more. I wasn't doing sport during school. I started doing sport once I was like already grown up and got to make my own choices. And then somehow started doing it. So I identify as an athlete a lot because I really love the athlete lifestyle. I really love being in the routine. For me, routine is not boring. It's something that gives the structure and something that also gives freedom. Because if all the things in the routine have been accomplished, there will be like all the free time, and you will also be like, you will also have this sense of achievement. So from this energy, it's possible to do anything. And yeah, as an athlete, I've been competing. This year, I'm taking a year off from competing, and but I'm still training because I'm an athlete. So I'm training, but I'm not on a diet this year. And I'm not on the stage this year. But I will be in, 2024, I will be on the stage again. And daily, I'm also working with people, sharing my knowledge, experience, and also digging deep into other people's minds as much as they allow me to go there. And I'm also helping people with their own body journey, and especially people who want to get more, people who want to have like big transformations, who want to like get more from life, more from their own bodies, and who really want to level up and do big stuff. And I'm also like a person who is multi-passionate. So some may say I get easily distracted, but I'm like, I just love so many different things. Okay, one of them is like self-development, growth. That's why I'm also like very active in Mindvalley, learning and also organizing events to other members as a local host in Tallinn, Estonia, but also Barcelona. So I'm like in different levels, different places. I'm also like a writer, so I write my own stories, my own books, and I'm also doing some ghost writing. So this year I also realized that I don't always have to have my name on the cover of the book. For me, it can also be a big thing if I help somebody write the story down. And actually, I'm using coaching while I'm writing book for somebody else because I'm talking to the people and I'm kind of coaching the story out of them. And sometimes you also need to go to a little bit painful and hurtful places. And this is where coaching skills actually come like helpful. And yeah, that's why I can also say I'm a writer and I'm a ghost writer, and maybe I'm also like story mentor or story coach at some point. And I think this is also an area that I would like to explore more and help people writing the big transformation stories down. So I'm an athlete, I'm a coach, I'm a writer, I'm a cat owner, Estonian. It's like I have many faces.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. It's good to be, multifaceted and multi-passionate because we're multi-dimensional beings and we
Yes.
constantly change and evolve. So what is relevant now, 6 months later, could be something different, and you're
I think
discovering more about yourself. Is that
like I tell people, the only concept about me is that I'm always changing. The concept about me is change. And my sister is also telling me that she doesn't know anybody who has changed so much as me. But there are also, like, I think there are like some themes and topics in my life that are always like relevant. For example, I've always been like very much into health. I've always been health conscious, into sport, into fitness. I don't drink. I love to have like nutritious food. I'm very interested in food as well. And I also trained as a nutritionist at one point before becoming a wellness and fitness coach. So I would say there are like some themes, there are like certain directions, but within these themes and directions, I have like multiple roles.
yeah? What influenced you, to find athletics and to pursue sports?
It was 2008 or 9. Okay, actually, it started in 2007 when I was doing my high school exams and I had like a lot of free time. And I had a best friend who was always dragging me out for a run. She was okay. We're going for a run for 1 hour, and I was like, oh, 1 hour, that's too much. And we were doing this like 6 times a week, but it was like very slow pace, so it was doable. And from this, I started liking it, and I started doing more sport on my own. At school, I wasn't much into sport, although I was always like, I had good endurance. I was sometimes going cycling on my own during weekends, just exploring. And after school, I just started running. I started going to the gym and I was just exploring it on my own. And when I realized, oh, I can actually like become faster, I can have like very good times in marathons. Then I got myself a trainer, I got myself a training plan, and I started practicing more seriously. That was like 2015, so that's like 8 years ago. And then I was like, okay, it's just I've always wanted to do something bigger, be a little bit more special, and that's why I love also challenging myself on different levels. And in sport, it's like I think it's also like very easy to measure because you can look at the numbers and you can see, oh, this time I was running faster, and that's a new personal best.
That's right.
Yeah.
Nothing called more empowering than seeing your own progress documented
Yeah.
over time.
I think I've always been like very curious, very much into learning. At school, I was the nerd, and when I went to university, I was like, okay, why is everybody else so always complaining? If you chose this degree and if you chose these subjects, why are you complaining that you don't like to study so much? I was always like, okay, I chose this, and I'm going to study because I love studying. And I was like, oh, finally, I can choose my own subjects. So the first thing I studied was actually English, like language and culture. But I think like many people go to university to study English. They're like, oh yeah, I know language, that's easy. But then you go like very deep into the language. You go into the syntax, grammar, all that crazy stuff, and it stops being easy. But I was like, okay, but that's fascinating. It's like a new, deeper layer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice, nice. What makes your heart sing?
New experiences, traveling. I also like, I think, challenging myself. These are like the main things. It's like, and whenever I think my mind always wants something new, wants like some kind of simulation. And that's why I find opportunities to travel. I find opportunities to learn and also find opportunities to study something new all the time. And also when I can like share everything that I learn, this makes me sing even more. So that's why I think I also love being a coach now because sometimes it's like I read something or I listen to a podcast or watch an Instagram live, and maybe I have a call a few hours later, then I'm already implementing the knowledge. I'm already using the same examples that I heard on a podcast or live. This happened to me like last week. I was just, I was like watching an Instagram live. It was by Ronan from Mindvalley. He's like one of my main teachers. And he had so many cool examples that I could already use in my next call that started like immediately afterwards. I was like, oh, I really love this content that you shared and I could already use it. And my clients was like, yeah, that's so true. So this also makes me think when I can like make connections.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. What is a memorable book you read or something new that you learned that kind of fascinated you?
Memorable book right now. Recently, I've been mostly listening to audiobooks and listening to a lot of podcasts. So if I have to single out one thing, I'm like, I'm not really sure. But out of the books that I have read, I think one of them is Gretchen Rubin's Better Than Before. It's about habits. And I really love how she's dividing people into 4 different categories based on how they are motivated. So it's like based on if you're like motivated by internal motivation only or external factors, or maybe a combination of both. So for example, based on this, I'm this type called upholder, who is equally motivated by my own internal stuff and also external. So I'm the kind of person who likes to tick boxes. So I just do stuff because I like completing things. But for example, somebody who is called rebel is always rebelling against their own internal motivation and also like against the external. So they're like, okay, what's my mood today? What do I want to do? They don't want to put any boundaries around themselves. Not even if it's like coming from inside. They're like, nah, I'm just gonna rebel against everything. So there are like different types, and I think it's very good to know what motivates people and what makes them tick, because this also makes my job easier if I know how my client is like I don't know, setting goals and achieving them. If this person maybe is this obliger type who is motivated by external sources, then that person would need more of my support and more of this. Okay, how are you doing today? Did you do the thing that I asked you to do? But if that person is maybe this person who analyzes things for themselves, like in their own head, then they don't need that much pushing. They just need to find all the reasons from their own mind, for example. So I think it's I think this book, I've been quoting this a lot. I've been like putting summaries into Instagram, and I was quite obsessed at some point. So that came to my mind right now.
Nice, nice. I think it's very interesting, to learn not only about others, about yourself, who you are, and what makes you motivated, especially in the moments. I know we all hit some kind of a rut, how to get out of that rut, knowing those tools. I think it's very incredible.
Yeah, and I'm also the kind of person who is crazy about personality tests. So whenever there's like an option to take a test, I'm like, oh yeah, I want to know what kind of person I am, or what animal, or what's my color, or whatever. It's like, even if it doesn't make any sense, it's like I always love to have like a new angle to look at myself, and like maybe it doesn't matter like what color I am or what kind of piece of furniture I am, but sometimes I still like taking these tests.
Right. Nice, nice.
Just making sense of the world. Yeah.
What makes you happy?
Like I said, what makes my heart sing,
It's the same
the
for
same
you.
thing that makes me like happy is like traveling, new experiences, and it also makes me happy when I can like tick the boxes and actually do the things that I'm been promising to myself. Because sometimes I get like so distracted because of all these very interesting things, and it might be hard for me to focus and actually finish. So whenever I finish something, I'm like, oh, that makes me happy. Training always makes me happy. Even if I always don't want to go, I'm always happier once I'm already doing the first exercises, and once I'm finished, it's like, okay, I'm doing something for me. I really love it.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
What was the moment in your life that caused you to wake up?
This is very much connected to Mindvalley. I became like a member just a year ago when I was starting to learn to be a coach, and then I went like very deep into everything. And besides also doing the Holobody coaching, 10x coaching, I also went to Dubai live event. And in May, I went to Cartagena in Colombia where they had this A-Fest. So this is like 4 days of awesome speakers and people and networking. And I think the very moment might have been this workshop called Genius Jam. So it was like, I think it was Felicia Hatcher or something. Yeah, that's her name. She was talking about being in a genius zone. And I was like, I've been in this competence and excellence zone, for example. I was in IT, I was like documentation writer, like technical writer. I was very good at this. I was maybe in my zone of excellence, but I wasn't like, yeah, I'm going to work. I want to write some documentation about casino games. I was like, okay, I'm doing it. I don't really care about the specifics. My eyes were not like shining and radiating happiness like the eyes of, I don't know, for example, my game producers who were like, oh, there's a new blackjack game coming. Da, da, da. We are building like a new cool game. I was like, yeah, okay. So I realized while she was talking about the genius and excellence and competence zones that I really want to do something that is in my genius, because this way I can contribute more to the world. And I always wanted to be like bigger, be like more special, be outstanding. Just not, I don't want to really do like normal things, because I think at some point all this normal just becomes too boring for me. Yeah, I sometimes, yeah, for a change, I like to do normal stuff like, okay, just going to the supermarket, buying some food. But I also have to have this very big, extraordinary thing in my life. And I realized this during A-Fest, where I was like also surrounded by people who were all doing something amazing, who were all like living their dream, just maybe even like working a little, but all the things that they were doing were like making like a big impact in the world. And they also had time for themselves. They had time for traveling. And there were just people who were like, okay, now I'm in Colombia, and then I'm gonna travel for a few more weeks and just, look around and see what's going on. I'm like, wow, that's a cool life. I do like to contribute and I do like working, but I also think that very many good ideas come when you're just like this really relaxed mode. I'm trying to let go of this overachiever, hardworking type A mode and be more in this relaxed mode, because this is where I get my best ideas. So I was like very inspired by all these people that I was seeing around me. And yeah, when I got back to Tallinn, I was actually in a taxi driving home from the airport. And then I was just got my phone and I was texting my boss saying, okay, the last day at work will be end of June. I was also like calculating, okay, if I finish by the end of June, I can go straight to Mindvalley University, which is like 3 weeks of cool people and 3 weeks of self-development and growth. So that was the moment when I told my boss, okay, I'm leaving. I had already like started a little bit of coaching on the side, but I was like, okay, I don't want to do this on the side and just a little bit. I want to do it like full time.
Yeah.
And I know it's scary. I'm still like in the beginning. It's, I don't know, month number 2. So it's still very early days, but I'm like, okay, that's the right thing. And I think with the waking up, it's also not like, it's not like, okay, you wake up and now everything is working. It's like, okay, you wake up, you stand up, and then you start doing all these things that you have to and need to do also. And I know it's a process and it's like getting better and better every day. And I'm like learning new layers of myself like every day. But I also know that I'm meant for bigger things. And whenever I get like a new idea, I'm like, okay, that's the right path. I know that I'm going to be on this path. And I think, yeah, for me, it was just being surrounded by people who are doing great already and also having this very special workshop where we went deep into finding our genius and also like saying it out loud and sharing with other people. So I was already creating some accountability, and I was already like getting some confirmation. Yes, that's the right thing to do. It's okay to feel like this. It's okay to think like this. It's okay to want all this and want to be bigger and better. Yeah, that was super inspiring event.
Awesome. Awesome. What were the 3 biggest lessons you learned as a result of your wake-up call?
I think the main thing I learned that is that I actually need people around me, because I've always been like this little bit of lone wolf, doing everything on my own. But whenever I start like doing big things on my own, I start like struggling at some point. And actually, if I have people around me, this helps me a great deal, because they also like putting their energy into my things, into my projects, and they also growing as a result. So it's win-win for everybody. And when I started like letting people in, I also realized, okay, actually it's good to work with other people, and it actually gives me energy, and it actually gives these people like a bigger sense of purpose, for example, because I'm very much of the person, so for example, in human design I'm manifestor, so I have like very much of this starting power and initiative. I can start stuff, but to keep things running, there have to be people around me who are also like carrying this process forward. So that's one thing that I have definitely learned. And I also learned that even if you are afraid, just go and do it anyway. It's like, do it scared. It's like everybody has fears, but if you just stand there and wait for the fear to pass, it might never pass. And then you might never do the thing. And then you're just dead already. So just go and do it scared. There's also like audiobook, and I think it's also like a paperback book called Do It Scared. I also listen to that one. I also know my fear archetype, and I'm still like going to go and do stuff. And I think another important lesson for me, number 3, would be it's like you will figure it out on the way. It's a little bit connected to the do it scared, but it's also like about you don't have to have everything figured out before you start. You start, and I think the opportunities will come during the process, and you don't have to know the how. You just have to know, okay, what you want, like vaguely, what's like the direction, and all the people, all the processes, they will just come along the way. And it's like whenever I like let go of how I want things and I just follow my intuition and just go, magic starts happening. It's like every person I meet gives me like little piece of this puzzle that I call life, and then I put these different pieces together and I structure them. And I think also one of my superpowers is combining and connecting the ideas. So I use this superpower to create something new, to create something big, and wow, magic happens. So it's like, yeah, do it scared, just start and figure it out on the way, and just take other people along the journey to make it easier on everybody.
Yeah, you're so right, and I love your metaphor. I heard another one: build an airplane on the way.
Oh
Start
yeah,
flying and then build it on the way as you go.
or
Figure-
grow wings. Yeah, grow wings on the way. Just jump and go.
Yeah,
Everything will fall into place anyway. If it's meant to be. If it's not meant to be, you will be put back into your own place or some other place, and yeah, you know.
yeah. Awesome, awesome. So,
Hmm.
what is your mission now?
This I think this also keeps changing, and even in the past few weeks,
Mm.
I've been like realigning and rethinking my things, because I've been having like a lot of discovery calls with potential coaching clients, and I've been like figuring out, okay, like I'm also like figuring out on the way who is my ideal client, and I'm figuring out that my mission is to help like these people who want to be like very big, people who have like lot of things going on in their lives. Maybe they are like already high performers and they're like business owners. And my mission would be this person in the life who is going to be the catalyst for a change in terms of health and fitness. So if somebody is already maybe very good at business and also has like a family, but maybe their health and fitness part is like not aligned, this is where I can use my athletic background. I can use all the routines and meal preps and training plans and nutrition knowledge from athletics. And I can go and help these high performers. So my mission would be to reach many high performers, because I think if these people who are doing like also like big business and big things in the world, if they are like in a good place, if they are balanced, they can also like bring more change into the world. And this will be like the ripple effect is major. It's not, maybe it's not even a ripple, it's more like a tsunami or a very big wave. It's going further and further. So my mission is to be there for these people who really want to level it up and who really want to do big things. Because I just recently realized that these are exactly the kind of people I want to work with, and I want to like spread my own impact also very far. And I think another mission would be also writing down the stories of people who maybe don't have the skills or time to write the stories, but they might have like very good story to tell. They might have like very good tips to share, a lot of knowledge to share with the world. So I can be the person who is gonna be the ghostwriter, who can actually write the story down, who can make like little bit of I don't know how to say, who can make a big mess look like a nice book. Because maybe they have all these ideas in their head and it's like big confusion. So I can be this person who is going to make this mess into something clear that can be communicated to the rest of the world. So yeah.
Awesome. I love it. Beautiful.
Yeah. It's also beautiful to say it out loud. It's like, yeah, because it has been like realigning in the past few weeks. Yeah. I've been talking to people and thinking a lot, but I haven't like really voiced it out loud. So now it's like, ooh, I'm saying it out. Wow, it really sounds powerful when I finally say it out loud.
Yeah. Who was your hero growing up?
Growing up. Yeah, I can't even remember if I have ever thought about this question. Maybe I also answered this when we were like talking earlier, but I don't know. I don't have like specific heroes, but I think, well, in the recent years, I've started exploring like films, and for me, I think Wonder Woman is actually standing out because of her power. When I was growing up, I was mostly watching witches on the TV and also the lawyer called Ally McBeal. So I was inspired. I was also like, I think I was inspired by strong, confident women always. So yeah, that would be it. Strong, confident women, and now it's Wonder Woman, I would say.
Nice. And what was the quality of Wonder Woman you like the most that you want to emulate for yourself?
I like the strength, both physical and mental.
Nice, nice. What was the smallest thing you've done that had the biggest impact in your life so far?
Smallest thing I've done. I think actually, when I was just going through the Mindvalley website last year, and then I clicked apply for Holobody coaching, this just started very many things. It was just the first step on the way. And I think, yeah, after this, it has been like a snowball rolling down the mountain and just gaining speed and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Because I just got onto the website like very randomly. I was even kind of like lost. And then I was just reading it. It was the last day to join the new coaching certification to become like a holistic health coach. I was like, okay, this really speaks to me. And I was like, okay, I might just do it. I don't know if I'm gonna have all the money for this, but I will figure it out on the way. Once again, like one of the big lessons for me. And I just went and I did figure it out on the way, and it all worked out. And I started loving the coaching process so much. And at that point, I was also like doing competition. I was like the last. So the course started in August, and I had a competition in October. So I was also like in this competition preparation. I was on a diet and everything. So this also started changing my own body relationship. So I was learning about how to talk to your body while I was also still doing like very extreme things to my own body.
Mhm.
So this small click somewhere on a website, it started the ball running, and I've never looked back after this. I'm just going forward and forward and just learning some new things, and also developing as a coach myself. It's like every day brings new opportunities. So just sometimes you just feel like, okay, intuition is saying, yes, I want this. And if the intuition is saying that, just do it. And if it's the right thing, you will figure it out on the way, and everything will work out.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
What is your superpower if you had to pick one?
I think I already mentioned it at some point. And for me, I think it's still the same thing that I have been saying at different events and to different people. It's putting different ideas together. So I like this synthesizer. I'm very good at grasping a lot of information, and then I just combine it in a new way because I'm very, very creative. That's, yeah. You could also call it a creativity. So I'm very good at synthesizing different ideas and coming up with something completely new.
Hmm.
So yeah.
I think we have that in common.
Yeah, that's nice. So let's create some magic.
What do you
How
want
do
to?
how do you use that superpower? What do you do with this?
Well, I love creating things that didn't exist before. Like I didn't know how
Like
to
this
do.
podcast.
Yeah, like this podcast. I didn't know how to do
Yeah,
a podcast, and this is my second podcast that I started. So
yeah.
I figured
That's
it
so
out
cool.
on the way, like you said.
Yeah, yeah. Just doing it. You just start doing it, and you know all the pieces will fall into place, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, it's working. I'm not the only one. I'm not the crazy one. It's working. Yay.
What do you want to create next?
Ah, in the last few weeks, I created like a new. Yesterday I had another new idea, but anyway, I created like a new concept in my head, and I really want to create that kind of package for my clients. So I want to be this wellness and fitness coach who brings like a very new service to the market and to the world. And I want to go to people's homes and like travel like all over the world, maybe stay like maybe 3 days, 5 days, a week, and then just do like very intense cleansing and restructuring of the life. Just throwing all the bad stuff away from the kitchen cupboards, like setting up a home gym if needed, or going to the local gym and finding the plan, or finding out where to run outside. Just setting everything up, also like the meal prep, how to like prepare the meals, also buy all the lunch boxes, buy all the blenders and all the equipment that the person needs to follow some kind of plan, and just put all the pieces into place in, I don't know, 3, 5, or 7 days. And also do like a lot of talking, a lot of digging of information during these days. And then when I'm done, it's just okay. Now you are on your own. You have all the tools. You have everything that I could teach you. Just now go and do it, and let's talk in a month or so how you're doing. So this is something that I want to create. I
Nice.
want to go to people's places, travel the world as well, and do some crazy stuff in their home and then leave.
Wanna come
Basically.
like a hurricane.
Yes, come like a hurricane, clean everything, and give them like a better life. Give them the tools to build a better life themselves. That will be more accurate.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love that. I think it's a brilliant idea.
Yes.
Give them some fresh energy, some fresh wind into the daily routine, and maybe they're stuck in the muck somewhere, and you can come like a breath of fresh air and show them a different way.
Yeah, just show all this athletic mindset and make all the plans together. Okay. And also like learn about the person, maybe have like a call before I come. So I already have like some vague idea, and then we just do the clean sweep, like restart of life.
Nice.
And then I can like use all these tools and just use all these athletic mindset things, actually, like having like a routine and having like a plan and just following through. So I really love to bring that energy and that knowledge to people.
Beautiful. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Now it's out there. Now I said it out loud and
Yeah.
everybody will hear. So now it's time to actually go and do it.
Yeah.
There's no way back.
I wanna have you back in a year and for you to share how you did.
Yeah, no, and then I'm like already creating bigger stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Is
true.
there anything I haven't asked that you'd like to share?
Anything. I don't even know. Maybe I think it's a no then, because I've been talking a lot already. Because I feel kind of like complete, because right now I just set out this very big thing that I want to create, and then I'm like, oh yeah, it's out there.
All right.
It's growing its roots. It's starting to grow and spread, and yeah, I feel like okay, it's out there now. So I'm like, just wait and see.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would say I feel like quite complete.
All right. If people would like to learn more about you, where would they go?
I would say they can go to my website, athleticmind.coach, and I'm also about to update it. So I also have this plan to put some more information on there. Also, this new big service that I'm about to start offering. They can also listen to my podcast that is called Athletic Mind Unleashed, where I also talk to other coaches, where I also talk to athletes. And they can also find me on Instagram if they want to like use the translation button and read Estonian. There's my personal account, Silja_PS. But I would say that if you want to read English and you're more interested in this athletic side, then it would be Athletic Mind Coach on Instagram. Yeah.
Awesome.
And you can also like search for my name on LinkedIn or Facebook or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm mostly active on Instagram, and I will be also like updating my website. So these will be the best places.
All right. Awesome. We'll include everything in episode notes. Thank you so much
Nice.
for coming. It was a pleasure to have you, and I love the new service that you're gonna offer. I'm excited. I feel it's very, very what is needed right now, to reverse
Yes.
people's life and show them a different
Yeah.
way of being. Coming from an expert who have done it herself for 10 years.
Yeah, it's like it's a time to like own your experience. This is also a very good quote and a very good advice that I got from some. So we had like this coaching practice calls with other coaches when I was still studying, and I was always like, oh, I don't know where to start and da 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 da. And then the other people are like, okay, you have been doing like gym and training for many years. Own your experience. Come on, like. And because the other people were like they were more like beginners compared to me, and I was the one like, oh, I don't know. But like, come on, own your experience, step up, be confident. You have something to share, because I think somebody said if you already know 5% more than the other person, you can teach that person. And I think I know 5% more compared to many people when it comes to nutrition and training and everything. And actually, whenever I teach something, even maybe on my own social media, it also turns out the people actually don't know the basics. So I can actually start very small and very like, okay, what is protein and things like this. That for me are like, oh, this is self-explanatory, but actually people do need that knowledge as well. So start small, maybe, and just start sharing and own your experience.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
You said it. You said it. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming on and being here. I really loved to have you, and the fact that your wake up call and how you reclaimed your life and now you're living your dream.
Yeah, it's not easy every day, but I'm getting there. It's part of the process.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.